Hello, everybody. Welcome to Anti-Bio. I'm Anti,
Nambaya.
and today we're gonna be looking at Am I the A word?
Asshole. Uh,
E.
A word, A word. I meant A word.
Cue the intro. Okay, so the first story we have here.
Am I the asshole? Or
Hey,
okay, AITA for making my boyfriend get rid of his toy collection?
my boyfriend has always called himself a kid at heart. He collects toys from quite a few series: wrestling, TMNT, X-Men, anime, etc.
We're in our
We're
20s. But they aren't for
but they
collecting
aren't for
Oh
collecting
my god.
purposes.
Purposes.
They're all out of the box, and he plays with them. Whenever he thinks I'm asleep, I can hear him mimicking the voices of the characters or doing commentary. I'll peek in the room to see what he's actually doing with them. That's another thing. It's a small apartment, and he's got a whole room just for them. A whole dresser full of parts and cards, their gun and weapons and such, but they're confined in that room. None of them are anywhere else. When he comes home from work, it's one of the first things he does, plays with the toys. Excuse me. We get packages from eBay or Amazon almost twice a week, but he makes time for me.
I thought it was cute at first. Cute and endearing at first. But we got a baby on the way, and my friends are laughing at me. Sounds like you're dating a 12-year-old. With the baby, I want to use that room for something like a nursery. I politely asked him how he'd feel about getting rid of them, but he said no. I said something about giving them to charity, but he said no again. I brought up that it could give us a lot of extra money if we sold them, but he still denied it. I asked about the baby, but he said we'll just budget it out like we always do. How he'll spend less on his figures but selling his collection is out of the question. I told him that he would make some other kid, a less fortunate kid, happy.
The teasing from my friends has continued. They all kept telling him he needs to grow up. Word got to his father. According to my boyfriend, his father wouldn't let him buy anything like that after 12. But when he moved out, he could buy all the figures he wanted.
I showed his dad pictures of the toy room and he was shocked. He got mad and said we're stopping that right now. That he wanted me to help him grow up. This morning, my boyfriend was sleeping when his dad came over. He grabbed a big trash bag and just started grabbing handfuls and putting them inside. When he was almost done, I told my boyfriend what was going on and said it was for his own good. He ran out and saw the room was empty and his dad with two big trash bags, leaving with them. He tried taking the bag and begging him to quit, but he didn't. His dad said, "It's time to grow up." He started crying and sat down, but he
But
was
he
yelling.
was yelling at us about how those are all he does, even though he has me. That agreed with me. You got your lady, and that's a weird capitalization. A kid on the way.
And
You don't need this shit. He was sobbing. His dad put them in a car and he left. He said he's tossing them in the trash. I told my boyfriend I was sorry, but it had to be done to think about the baby. But then he yelled at me about how he could throw stuff I collected away. He didn't actually throw them out. It was a bluff. It was donated to a thrift store. Was this truly wrong of me?
I mean, you're both in the wrong, kind of. I don't know.
Our
It's a weird.
turn
It's a weird
to.
situation.
So,
Oh dear.
is she the A word hole?
What do you think?
Yes. She sucks. A Hoopy breaks up with her.
I mean, on one hand, okay. So about like the toys and stuff, you can do whatever you want. It's like if you have an interest in it, I don't care. Go off. But like if you're like constantly spending money on these figurines, that might be like a problem. But
Agreed.
still, like you shouldn't have like had his dad come over so he could like help throw it all away.
Okay, so
Oh, I
in
mean,
the
donate it, but
story, maybe we hear her. She never says like this to buy him buying the toys has caused them any sort of financial failure. And she
hmm
even said like, "Hey, we can balance this out like we always do. We could budget these things." Like he was trying to make a reasonable argument. Also, I want to say this to like all the parents: your baby, your newborn baby, should not have a room to itself. That's dangerous.
also, yeah, that's probably a given.
Like if you give birth, like you just had this baby a few months ago and you already have their own room, that's not safe
Actually,
at
actually,
all.
When the kid grew up, they could have just like kept those toys and gave them to the kid. Yeah, that would have been better off.
And it seems like this guy is playing with these toys as like a coping mechanism.
For like when he was a kid and didn't get to do it.
Yeah, because he says like when I was younger, my dad didn't let me have these, and now I can buy all I want. So this is like a hobby. Is that hurting anyone? It's
It's not
like
hurting
it's
anyone.
making him
At most, it's
happy.
like in
And it
most
seems
it's
like the
like
only
actually a
reason
little
she
weird.
did it was because her friends were making fun of her.
Oh yeah, that was a good one too.
In the story, he says that my dad never let me have toys after 12. So her
Mm-hmm.
response is to call the dad,
Oh
who's the
yeah.
reason behind this behavior.
Let's
Let's
see what
look
the
at
comments say.
uh,
Damn.
YTA. Pretty sure you're about to be a single parent. YTA. Wow. Oh, you read this one. I read the first one.
Wow, you're a huge a word. People need hobbies. They need ways to cope with their jobs and relationships and the stress of life. It doesn't matter that you find it childish. It's something that your boyfriend enjoys, and it's not hurting you financially, physically, or emotionally. Your friends are making fun of your boyfriend isn't hurting you emotionally, by the way. That's just what you get for having shitty friends. You have zero communication with your boyfriend and are pushing away an identity of a toxic masculinity on him with assistance from his father, who's also clearly an a word. You didn't help him make it. You didn't make him get rid of it. Let's be clear. You threw away his personal property with extreme personal value. I have a husband with an extremely niche hobby. It's really weird. He has a podcast about a very obscure sport. But want to know what? We have an entire room just for his recording studio. I don't even like the sport, but I listen to it every single episode of his podcast. It makes him happy. So it makes me happy. So I make sacrifices so he can have one thing that's just for him. You don't care about anyone else but yourself, and it shows. I hope he leaves you. He deserves better.
Damn, she went off.
Go off, sis.
You did not pull any punches.
I hope he leaves you. Oh, damn, that would have hurt.
Damn, that's tragic. Wow, WTA, you just throw away someone else's belongings. I didn't realize playing with toys has such an age limit. I'm 25 years old and I still play with lightsabers. And in a few years, I'm sure your child will have loved playing with toys with their dad. Honestly, yeah. If you kept the toys, imagine like the kid and the father bonding. Like,
Wow. You
I
got
never.
Jotaro, like, he's using Star Platinum on Optimus Prime.
He's like, no, you can't move, Timmy.
You
Time is
can't use it
frozen.
time. Yeah, you can't move it time stop, but it's been 2 seconds, Dad.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, this is part 4, Jotaro, Dad.
Am
Alright.
I the
AITA.
antagonist? Am I
AITA for
evil?
buying a car for myself from my daughter's college fund.
Pardon my poor English.
Because it is my first language. I, a 47-year-old male, divorced from my ex, a 45-year-old female, after I caught her cheating 10 years ago. She later married the guy, and when it came to custody with my daughter, I chose to live with her mother and the affair partner. I tried keeping in contact with my daughter, but every time she turned me down. The guy had enough money and paid for her education until this year, but due to the virus, he lost his job and is struggling to pay her fees. After years of avoiding me, she finally reached out to me to ask to pay for her college. I told her I couldn't since I spent the fund on my car since she has basically cut me off from her life. And I told her that she already has a degree and can work part-time to pay her bills. My ex called me and chewed me out for spending the college fund. She didn't contribute a dime to the fund. AITA for buying a car for myself from that fund. I tried offering it to her when she turned 18, but she doesn't want any relationship back then, so I bought the car. When she declined by even refusing to speak to me about the college fund, since her stepfather was taking care of her college fund. I read that in a weird way, but yeah.
My opinion, he's not the asshole.
He's not in the wrong at all.
She didn't even contact. Like, how is he supposed to know this is supposed to happen? Like, this was gonna happen. Like, yeah, I can see in his head, oh, she completely cut all ties with me. She's never gonna message me again. I have this huge sum of money. I might as well use it. And then all of a sudden, when she can't pay for herself, she calls you up and it makes you the bad guy because she was fake. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
What do you think?
I mean, she already has a degree, right? And the guy was,
lazy ass up and get a job.
but like, her situation was already covered up until like the virus, right? So,
Yeah.
like, assuming he said he offered it to her when she turned 18, but like she didn't talk to him at all. So, he just bought the car since she wasn't going to use it. No one could have predicted like the virus coming in and like that guy's job being gone.
Like it would have been one thing if she asked him and then he bought the car.
Mm-hmm.
If he bought the car before she even asked him, then there's no reason for them to be upset. Like the other dad was paying for her college, so she clearly didn't need this tuition that he had. NTA, she's 22 and already has a degree, has been out of contact with you into adulthood. You're not a mind reader. NTA, people who ignore you and treat you like nothing deserve that. Enjoy your car. NTA. Dad, you know how I loved you always? Could I please get money?
Weren't you already getting money from the other guy?
He lost his job because of the virus.
Dang, that's crazy. I can't
He
hear you with
get
the
a job.
windows rolled up.
What do you mean, the roof down?
Dang,
I'm
that's
doing
crazy.
80 on the highway.
With the house?
Got a whole new wife.
Brand new whip, ain't got no keys.
Ate my whip. Thank you for watching. Share this video with someone who likes collecting toys. Share this video with
Someone
your
who has a
daughter who's been
car.
avoiding you for half your life.
Share this video if you have a car.
Share this video with your new Beverly Hill wife, half your age. Blast this video in the whip that's not yours.
Brand new
With
whip, ain't
that,
got no keys.
cue the outro.